Feature Friday.
The freshest. Alright, this is super cool. This is Regine Velasquez and I love... Oh yes, wow.
Ikaw ang siyang ulang mabuhay kong ito.
You're definitely not saying the words right.
Pangarap ko.
Yes.
Pangarap ko.
There's no way of stopping this.
Pangarap ko.
Yeah.
Ang ibig ka. I fucking love that song. And this is Regine. Not doing that song. Doing Sometime Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And she's wearing a yellow dress. All of you made that very like adamant. Make sure it's the one with the yellow dress. The yellow dress. Wait with the yellow dress. Here we go. Let's give it a watch. Let's give it a watch, partner.
Okay, partner.
Ooh, I like the yellow dress. RegineMultimedia.com. Ikaw ka na lang. Wow, vintage.
Is that a harp?
Is that a harp?
Oh, shut the front door. I need to find
Is
out.
that a harp?
I need to find out. Is that a harp in the background? Or is it because of the vintage equalization that the piano
Makes sense.
sounds like that? Dude, I have no
Because that sounds like a harp. I've
also
seen a
need to
harp
know-
around my days back in the 70s.
Sometime, somewhere. I actually need to find where this song is from. Is this her original? Somewhere.
Look at that woman, dude.
She's absolutely stunning, isn't she?
It's a good looking woman.
Song by Basil Valdez.
Oh, I see.
Corner of the Sky album.
Someone will let us know if it was a harp. I would bet that someone watching is going to know some of the musicians that played this.
Probably.
Because it's unbelievable the amount of messages we get like that now, which is crazy.
I love it. I they get me so excited. I totally freak out every single time.
So if you did or you do know, or you did know, let us know.
He's not drunk, I swear to God. It's just that you're really, wow, all over the place.
I have fun. I like this.
Coffee.
There you go. I have fun. Do you bring the childish side out of me? I don't let it out often.
Let it be free.
Exactly.
Yes,
And thousands of people just think I'm like this.
Yes.
That's not true.
Can... yeah.
Jibbity jabbity bop. Let's watch the video cup. He's a fucking wop, mate. A wop.
Could be a harp, you know?
It is. No.
Oh. This woman.
So. She actually looks and sounds perfectly.
You know, what an incredibly difficult composition. Sorry, that was absolutely hypnotizing.
Apologies for the sound. Mother's arrived.
Hello, mother. Welcome. The crazy thing about this, though, is how incredibly intricate the beginning, the setting into the storyline of the song is. Because you have a very ambiguous accompaniment, it being the harp, it being an orchestral arrangement of the song.
So many musicians here.
Yes, 100%. This is a really big piece. But talking about the composition of the song itself, it's so unrelated, the singing phrase, to the musical theatrics behind it. So you gotta be so aware of the singing line that you are capturing, as well as the message and the acting through song that you want to portray in such a piece. She really does embody the idea of the song, the lyricism. She's living it in the moment, and she's also allowing you to delving deeper into the whole cinematic sound effects that are happening with the orchestral arrangement. This is insane.
Only moments like this make me really, like, only musical pieces like this and scores as such make me really enjoy and see the importance of like theatre and performance theatre. Because
I don't know if this is a theatrical piece from a score specifically.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you this would be studied by someone like you, and this type of performance is actually one of the, no, it wouldn't be one of the first times, but it is one of the few times in which we see Regine play to much more of the theatrics of the piece in a more acting through song perspective, rather than actually
performing a song.
Right through the song, you know, rather than act through it. I don't know if that makes much sense, but just, I don't know, theatre terms that Ballet said and I repeated. So it's really interesting to see when the demand is so high due to the orchestral arrangement, how well she's able to adapt her own, I guess, singing personality and singing characteristics. I have to say, that woman there and the sound and the look, that's fucking perfect. Like, that's as perfect as that could have gone, I think.
Yes.
I don't think you could ever go back and change anything about that. That's mental. And the fact that she has so many performances like this that I like, that was perfect.
Everything is so right.
The dress was perfect. The look was perfect. The lighting was perfect. The vintage feel was perfect. We're obviously looking back at it, but at the time it would be current. The orchestral arrangement was perfect. The vocalizations, the equalization, the mixing, the mental.
Yes.
And all of this, one of them goes wrong and it doesn't sound as great. It doesn't look as great. It doesn't feel as great. But here,
I wonder what this event was for. There's a certain formality and approach to this.
Music Man.
Music Man.
I think that's what it's called.
Right, fantastic. I would love to know more about the event, because I think that also dictates the type of requirements and expectations that were held by the audience. Because given the choice of song, and given the choice of arrangement to the song,
demographic.
Yes, it's a very elite finished product overall. Cool. So I would love to know more about it. Maybe like an award show situation or something like that, made for the people inside of the industry. Wow, what a swell. Oh, I love the resolutions. They're so ambiguous.
Ooh, hard.
And that right there is what I'm talking about, acting through song. So in this composition of the score and how it was originally written, for her to go up in the inflection of the word like she did at the beginning of that phrase, it's musically written that way. So when you're approaching it from a technical perspective, when you're learning the song, you learn that in that specific phrase you go up, and that's just how the song goes. But paired up with brilliant acting through song, you get this. And listen to this. So it gives intent, it gives emotion to the broken down composition of the phrasing, and that makes you really connect and align with the storyline that she's portraying. So the communication is wide open between the audience and the performer itself. It's such a brilliant way to study acting through song. She really has it down. This is like watching a masterclass unfold.
This is one of the few moments that we've seen her do this so intensely.
Openly.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree.
Which is unique. So yes, that's a good question. Wonder what this was for. Technically,
no, it's not her vocal capability. That's not the thing in question here. The beautiful thing about this is that you're seeing a completely new layer to a performer that was already known for a certain style. So at least for me, this is a completely brand new.
Yeah, I've never seen her in a more such theatrical manner. I don't think we ever have. I mean, maybe another song where we did see that.
We've seen it done. We've seen her done multiple musical theater multiple musical theater covers throughout the videos.
Yeah.
But I had never really seen her invested in acting through song.
Yeah, but because she's not trained in theatre, and that's. Or maybe, something that you don't have to do if you're known as a power vocalist or a belter. That's not your job. Your job isn't to perform like Lea Salonga. Like, that's, pinnacle example of acting through song. You're not in Les Mis, You're doing a show, a singing show.
That's right.
Not a acting show or a theatre song. So it's really interesting. But this is good. This is really interesting because I think it's probably the right balance of so many things. Because I understand, I see a lot.
Tender piece.
I see a lot of value in also, studying these ideas of acting through song and learning theatre just for the sake of the system. It's a ruthless system. It teaches you a lot of things. It does refine the craft really well, but I think it loses marketability at a specific point where it becomes so intense and exaggerated, which is the amplification of emotion. That's what theatre is. But I think here it's done really well in that aspect of it's still showbiz friendly, but it's still very pure in the aspect of acting through song, at least from my eyes, so this is very good. Probably one of the best examples to study, even if you're not a theatre head and you're not trying to become a theatre head or act yourself, but that's how you do a performance, which is emotion, where emotions are attached and you will move the crowd.
Yes, I think what is so beautiful about this is definitely the tenderness, the vulnerability that comes from singing a song like this, exposing, given that you already have the open line of communication between the audience and yourself on stage. So you have a really cool understanding that the complexity of the piece is actually heightening the emotional turmoil in the character itself, and then people can easily relate to it given the vulnerability of the performance itself. And I think she literally hit the pinnacle of that example. It's just absolutely stunning. Understanding behind every line. Yeah, everything has intent. You can see the picture that she's painted through every inflection.
Dude, damn!
We just have to be
She's engulfed by that.
Perfect balance of both worlds.
Oh, let's talk about that. Let's geek out about that slide. All right, so in that specific moment, technically speaking, you're having a very narrow, a very controlled hit of the note. But even though you're in a mixed position, so you're not either, you're tilting forward, so your larynx is tilted forward and it's full of emotion, but it's never at that point where it's completely grounded and it's completely belting. So it's just in between the two, it's between the high emotion complexity as well as trying to hit the note without belting. So you're pulling back a lot. So she slid into the note and then opened into a full belt, lifting the soft palate, and it was so freaking physical. And if you were to having a hard time understanding how to find anchoring in the belt after coming from a mixed setting of the larynx,
I don't move my soft palate. That's stuck there.
No. Well, it's soft for a reason, so it's movable. It comes down.
The palate.
Yeah, the soft palate, like right at the back. Like if you tilt your tongue back and try to touch the roof of your mouth, can you see where there's like a hard part and then it goes soft right at the back?
Yeah.
The back of your throat. That's the soft palate. That's right. And that moves down, especially in every glottal, the engas, the e, and all of those glottals, they move down. It's a soft palate modulating. It's not the tongue touching the roof of your mouth. It's a soft palate coming down. Yeah, but yes, if you had a hard time understanding how to flip from that tilted but larynx position that she's here, actually you can see it really clearly in this position, then up to the top, and then she opens into that big belt. Tilted, big moment. You can see the shift also in the larynx physically. They don't tilt forward anymore. They're not so high pulled back. So they open up, and then you see the completely big belt moment. It's just brilliant. That anchoring is absolutely insane. Okay. I mean, what? That is just the best example of brilliant freaking top-notch technique. Insanity, man.
Oh, it's in better quality. About the same. But yeah, that is a harp.
What? I did think so. I mean, I did think it was a harp. It is
impressive, eh?
Breathtaking.
I actually, I would like to know what this was for, and I'm very intrigued, and also, how maybe she came to, come along with this type of performance, because certainly lots of decisions, lots of, maybe not coaching, but certainly do pre-rehearse decisions, to act through the song perhaps more than usual. She wasn't doing the usual theatrics that you see in musical theatre, like walking around and you pick water, but it is more through, less is more. The body language in its most minimal form, eyes, looks, gazes, intent in inflections in words, resolutions of sentences, and the beginnings of others. So that I think is the aspect of theatre that I think all singers should get a grasp on. Again, who the fuck am I to say that? Just a guy on a couch. You just heard me. I rap, okay, and I play the drums. That's what I do. But from a somewhat, I don't know, an observation, those are the elements of theatre that I think have to be a must in all singers.
Yeah, but
the extra steps after that, like you and I can have a discussion about that. But
here's the thing, though, that right there, it's years of understanding of acting, of like the simplest of human emotions.
At this point, she was pinnacle acting, right, in her career.
Of course. But what I meant to say is that this is not the beginning. This is not where you start.
No.
When it comes to like the things that one must get right as a theater
come on,
performer,
Johnny, come on.
This is literally what comes with being a professional.
Yeah, that's not what I said. I didn't say this is where you begin.
No, I know, but I think those basics. This is not a basic. This is like
It takes a long time to marinate.
Exactly. These are the things that take a lot of mental.
I agree. I don't think she's ever had any musical theatre experience. I think she's had acting experience.
I think it comes from what you don't really need musical theatre experience to actually understand what the songs required.
No.
Especially not at this level in her career, I don't think. And she has, if she had already been acting at this point, the two come in really naturally.
Yeah.
So I would think the combination of choices that we saw in the inflections and the deliveries and the understanding of the song itself actually came with somewhat of a natural transition.
Yeah. Well, let us know your thoughts, guys. I'm very interested. Also, if you'd like to support the podcast or the reviews like this, do make sure you go to fidgetfighterstore.com and you get your merchandise. Shout out to all of you already doing so. It means the world. Apart from that, let us know what else we should check out next.